next, development. I thought about it and I was thinking that at my workplace I didn't know that there was a whole lot of development, but now that I realize it, there kind of was. So, um, being a manufacturing plant, we have this thing called spoilage. And spoilage is what happens when you have this material that you buy and you craft, but somewhere along the assembly line, it goes. And that's a problem because then if you have high spoilage, you're not maximizing your profits. Now, development came into play here because, as Tucker says, the manager as developer is accomplish sort of a trying to accomplish managing, like, increasing employees' capacities and commitment to sharing responsibility for the work. So, um, when it came down to responsibilities, we would have these monthly spoilage meetings, and it was usually a half hour before shift, and we would all file in there, and then they would talk up to us about how we are doing in comparison to other plants under the same company, and how we can improve, and what we're really going to be focusing on for the next month. I think that it really worked out in terms of letting people know what was going on and what kind of goals we had to set. But there are three main tasks that a manager as developer has to accomplish. One, work with subordinates as a team to collectively share responsibility for managing the unit. This is obviously huge because if you don't give power to your employees, it's really hard for them to feel like they're making a difference at all, and thus motivation kind of goes down and everything just like it snowballs into horrible things. It happens. Dose. You have to determine and gain commitment to a common vision. Everybody has to be sort of on the same plane. Everybody has to have the same ideas. And that's why I thought these meetings were really good, because it really gives us a perspective of the company, and us being, supporters and employees and people that work in this company. We all want to be a team, and we all want to churn out the highest quality product that we can. So obviously, if we're all looking at the same thing, then we should be thinking pretty much the same thing. We have the same vision that we want to improve, and that we should be able to. 3. Work on the continuous development of individual subordinate skills, especially in the managerial/emotional intelligence areas, in order to be an effective member of the shared responsibility team. I think that this is captured really well because where I work was a union job. And a lot of what unions do is seek to sort of bring everyone together to be both secure in their job and satisfied with their job. Not only that, but unions have been doing pretty well lately, and it keeps the employees from being treated unfairly. Stuff like shop stewards and stuff that we had would, be acting as mediators between, some people like me and management. I don't think I ever actually got called in to management for anything bad because they generally just liked me. But, that's that. On the topic of managers, there's actually a few reasons why managers don't develop good subordinates, especially in like the business world today. Here's a few of them. 1. Managers are usually chosen for their technical skills and not necessarily their emotional intelligence, which is kind of a problem, because if you have somebody who's very much proficient in the area of, oh yes, I know how to churn out this product, I know how to get 1,000,000 cans per day, and I know how to send them off and do great things, you essentially have a person that's worried entirely about the product. And believe me, there are a few managers there that are worried entirely about the product and not the consequences of emotionally being insensitive to those people that both receive the product and work to make the product. Managers would rather avoid training. They'd rather hire workers that have already proven themselves from other companies. This is bad because it does not create a good sense of team. And every people will probably butt heads a million times. Yes, you can have You could have a team of star workers, but it's not going to make a difference if they can't work together on the same thing. It's just another reason. 3. Managers are more interested in enhancing their own status rather than empowering employees. And this is obviously, you're not going to develop good subordinates if you just keep all the power for yourself and you keep trying to get more power. It's just not going to work. 4. Managers don't really recognize the potential of their employees. In fact, they kind of like to hire people that remind them of themselves, which is really narcissistic, but I could see why it would be true. There were a few of those that happened in the company. It really boiled down to who could kiss the most ass, I suppose. But those are 4 reasons why managers don't really develop good subordinates. Development's very important to a company, simply because it allows the company to plan for the long term, and you want to be sustainable in the future, so why the hell not? Anyways, this is me, shock dropping out.